scapulothoracic joint. Whoa, what a time to stop. Almost hit. So you can see he's doing a lot of force absorption stuff, right? Hey, Coach Tom Hall, bad triathlete, amazing golfer. Maybe that order, don't really know. We are here to dig deep into the world of baseball. I know, I don't know anything about it either, but this is going to test my S&C knowledge, my friends. So this is going to be really fun, actually. From anybody who's an upper body athlete, wants to look into the realm of S&C, of how we can structurally break down some stuff and how we're able to move from sport to sport and have a little decent understanding about what's happening in the weight room, right? So we all see that, this guy's a pitcher. So anything that you throw, javelin, I'm assuming cricket might be a big one for that. Maybe any kind of velocity-based sport like tennis or golf, rotational stuff. It's endless what we can apply. But highlighting some stuff which is pretty cool, I think anyway, from this lad called Kirk's Pitching Performance. Okay, little break in the thing. So every 3-4 weeks or so, I'm gonna go for maybe some terrible, maybe some really good S&C people as well, just to highlight some really cool stuff that you guys can take away, which is what I want you to do. Right, without further ado, let's have a look. Let's have a little look at this. And it says, what does 99 mile an hour look like in the weight room? Which is exactly why we're here, guys. So let's have a little look, shall we? Ooh. Right, so I've only watched this a couple of times, so I don't know whether this is gonna get copyrighted, so we'll turn that down. All this stuff though is interesting because nice. There's interesting on form stuff there as well. We'll highlight that as we go through. There's some stuff which is quite out there. There's some stuff which is just strong, staple stuff. Absolutely. I like the guy in the back there is going crazy. Bit of Cirque du Soleil. Guy's just walking on. That's mainly what like a lot of the American places look like. Really cool. Oh, yeah. Your back's strong. Pretty damn cool, guys. Pretty damn cool. All right, let's get to the nitty gritty. I think that's a song. Okay. All right, so if we were to do a needs analysis of baseball, particularly pitching, we can kind of see what's happening. We need massive thoracic rotation, massive amounts of structural integrity within your T-spine to your scapula. So scapulothoracic joint is huge in terms of what we need to do in terms of quality. Elbows, whipping, all that kind of stuff. Elastic properties need to be trained. Reactive and ballistic properties need to be trained, and structural integrity is kind of vital, okay? Upper limb is huge, but where you're gonna get that kind of reaction as well is probably your driving force is from the floor up through your body into the ball, right? So, there's a lot of stuff going on there. That equates to golf swings, tennis serves, cricket bowls, you name it. If we're projecting like a projectile force where we have to do a chain reaction into something, this is some of the stuff that we might need to do, guys, in the gym. It's not all barbell squats. Number one here. Let's go backwards. That was so fast. Boom, boom, boom. It's the same. It's front and forwards and backwards in it. So he is on a GHR. Oh no, he's actually on a reverse hyper machine there. The wrong way around. You can see the weight. The weight thing is where he'd normally do like back reverse hyperextensions. So he's that way around, but it kind of doubles up as a GHR in America, obviously. So I've got my Celtics hat on. I do have a Boston Red Sox hat, but I like wearing this one. You've probably seen it in other videos. I think I've got a different hat in every video. But all right, he's got a little dowel. He's pretty violent in here. So he's got hamstring tension. I don't know what to call these. It's kind of like a Borsh hold or a hamstring hold in ISO with pretty violent thoracic rotation, which is going to get a lot of tension between each hamstring to hang on, because that's the kind of point of reference where his isometric contraction is happening. And you're kind of doing this thing called segmentation between your lower body and your upper body. Okay, it's really big in golf, where we start to look at break down your swing. You'll see T-spine moves first, which is probably what happens when pitchers start to move their upper limb first. So they're segmenting T-spine, so your upper body from your lower body, from the pelvis, essentially what you can see happening here. Okay, so you're seeing what's violently happening. All right, we love these. Yeah, cool. I do some front foot variations of those quite often. All right, so these are, he's just hanging out there, and let's scroll backwards. So these guys, you'll see that back leg basically jumps. I don't know whether the whole thing jumps, to be fair, whether he's doing a complete drop. Yeah, he is. Cool. All right, so he's doing what would be a fallen catch, a drop to catch, almost like a split catch position in a split squat position. Okay, I do these mainly driving from the front foot. So you're dropping and you're trying to take capacity. You're massively absorbing all that force really quickly. So we'll run it slow. So you'll see both his feet are off the floor there, right? So he's essentially come up to be able to hit gravity, is going to drop down, so he catches himself before he hits the floor. Well, he does actually hit the floor there, okay? But you're trying to do force absorption, and then basically you got a drip, stamp, Borsh, down. Love that. Love these, and that's some serious load doing that, by the way. That's good. That's good stuff. Really impressed. Really impressed. Would do. Like those. Drop catch, split squat. I would name that. Believe it or not, my cricketers do those. Quite a few of my athletes do those. Nice. Overhead stability. Like we said, structural integrity of his scapulothoracic joint. Welcome to overhead holds or overhead carries, okay? He might be doing like some kettlebell carries as well, barbell carries, walking around with that. He's in, I guess, a Z position. He's just cross-legged, isn't he? Much how I'm sitting right now. And he's literally holding it 2 inches above. All he's trying to do, he's going from this position and you're going slightly up. So you've got some scapular glide over his rib cage. Boop. That's all it is, okay? And he's got a crap ton of weight. 1, 2, 3. I don't know what they are. Are they 45s? Yeah, they're 45s. So 3 45s. A lot of weight there to push overhead. So structurally, T-spine and scapula are kind of wedged on. There's a bunch of stuff in and around your rotator cuff, and that's what he's trying to be stable, so in lockout. Because obviously, he needs a pretty structurally sound upper body scapulothoracic joint. Whoa, what a time to stop. Almost hit. So you can see he's doing a lot of force absorption stuff, right? Into full range. Cool. Pretty damn crazy, these ones, all right? So elevated press up position into a pec catch, essentially. Don't really know what it's called. Never coached it before. Haven't ever given it to anybody. Might do though, don't know. Watch out, Paul. He's one of my elite cricketers who I train. But yeah, these look pretty good, don't they? I haven't given them a like. Sorry, King's pitching performance. What does 99 mile an hour look like? Violent at the moment. No, really violent. All right, so he's dropping, and then he's aiming for just a catch. I bet the stretch on his pec through that is quite something. So that's that fast eccentric phase, which we highlighted before. And most bodybuilders, most people in the gym would have done a slow eccentric phase before. So that's that down phase of lifting. But these are violently decelerating through a fast eccentric phase, much like I might do in a triphasic phase, like by Cal Dietz, something to go look up. One of my favorite S&C programs that I do. Yeah, we've got a variation that he's obviously identified again. Really, anything around the shoulder, he wants to build up and make sure and absorb as much force as it can to tolerate really high speeds and high violence. I'm going to say that word a lot. And that's what he's doing. Mate, I'm going to go, yeah, what I call it, an incline pec catch. All right, love these. Cool. Literally a stretch, okay? Think of your dumbbell pullover. That's in this position, but he's put himself in the most thoracic extended, so his chest is up, right, as position as possible, okay? So that's almost, when we do that, we actually say that people are lying kind of about their shoulder mobility, okay? So if we took that ball out, the chances are his arms will go past, but you can see here, his arms aren't actually any further. There's not any more extension into his shoulder joint, okay? This is about stretching his pec and his lat over. This is the part that's getting stretched. This is kind of getting stretched, but it's not as massive as you think. It'll be a bit of armpit into his lat here, but it's mainly his pec, look, because obviously this position is big in terms of what's happening here. And it's just a stretch. It's just, I need mobility there. I'm loading it. It's a perfect mobility stability model, if I'm honest. And again, pretty aggressive. I tend to do like extended dumbbell pullovers in T-spine extension. If they kind of don't have much structure overhead, I will tend to do those to graduate. I'm not doing dumbbell pullover massively for a hypertrophy or anything like that. It'll be mainly to obtain overhead thoracic extension and overhead mobility, which is cool, which a lot of people suck at. They shouldn't hang out there for it. Right, Zercher Squats, yeah, tick, would do. I love these. Anybody who's been my athlete or has seen me for a while, I will do these. This is tough as well. 1, 2, 3, 45s on there, so it's pretty heavy. What, like 140 maybe? Don't know, something like that. And he's doing, I don't know how many seconds we're doing there. Scroll, 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 scroll backwards. I don't know, what, 3 to 5 second pause at base, which is pretty solid, if I'm honest. Like, yeah, really cool. We'll get him all the way up. So the reason for a Zercher squat, so I'm a bit of a pussy. So I put so what we can be, if you've got fat grip handles, put them in there so it doesn't really wreck your elbows. Or use a squat pad, don't use that, either hip thrust pad, put it there, and to use it there, or a towel, okay? This guy's got nothing, so he's harder than me. But pretty cool. Zercher squats, kind of, you've got a lot of thoracic structure. Basically, you've got an anterior load. So we know anterior loads, like front squats, tend to look better. That's why we all start with a goblet squat. They build more aesthetically pleasing squats than back squats because the weight is shifted forwards. Therefore, we can keep a more upright torso position, and it tends to have a little bit more knee flexion and less hip flexion. Okay, so more knee bend, less hip bend, and you can see he's very upright for a squat position. If he was back squatting, his head would be out here, his butt would be slightly higher, we'd have more hip flexion, so this angle would be less, okay? And he's there for a good few seconds, lots of exhaling, and then boom, so he fights that, where the weight is shifting forwards, to then punch his hip to stand up in that top position. Oh, would do. Absolutely fantastic Zercher squat. Okay, if you're struggling for a squat variation, start putting them in. You'll see some mad kind of core gains, and you'll be better for it. I quite happily do Zercher walkouts as well, which is fun to do. Straight hang clean to front squat. Essentially, there's nothing we really need to say about that. If you've watched last week, we were doing like kind of hang power cleans or hang shrugs. These are cool. Let's see if we can spot where triple extension happens. So that was what I noticed in the front bit, okay? What people, because there we go. Boom, really violent. Love that he's gotten off the floor. I really appreciate that in terms of when I coach a clean, I want them to leave the floor. He is literally jumping, okay? He is jumping up with that barbell in that shrug position, and then he is dropping. See that he is moving around the barbell to get underneath, which is awesome, and then he is gonna do a squat. But what I would like to highlight here is his knee drops in, boom, boom. Okay, he goes into internal rotation and then masses out to external rotation again, which is valgus, which a lot of you will be taught that is bad, but it's totally fine because that is a shock absorber. So make sure his big toe drops down, that he can take that load, and he will drive up again once he hits a certain depth. So you're externally rotated, so internal there, and then he shifts into internal rotation to get into that position, and then drives out into external rotation. So you'll see that knee pushes out that top position. But in this middle part of the squat, for him to obtain force, he has to push harder, as you can probably see, on the inside. So he's actually into that internal rotation of his foot and into pronation, because he's trying to absorb force, and his big toe is pushing super hard, which means his quad's working hard, which we're absolutely fine with, because this lad's a good athlete. He's a good gym guy, trust me, okay? And he's able to get through that position, boom, and then he's not concerned about the catch. Good, would work on those aspects, would try and fight against them, but they happen, and to that degree, it's perfect, okay? Absolutely fine. This one, don't squat, hold, loaded rotation. I don't know whether there's much point to it. Look, what I want to see is this guy. He's just looking at him going, what is this lad doing? He's like, Steve, you all right? Yeah, just can't get up, mate. Loaded rotation in a deep squat position, tough, very tough. I feel like this is maybe an S&C thing from way back when. I think this is quite extreme. Wouldn't probably program, I wouldn't be comfortable. But this guy is clearly a ridiculous athlete. I would be uncomfortable putting this in for a lot of people. I think it's doable, but I'd be the start. If I were to do this, okay, I'm reasonably strong. I would struggle with a normal barbell, I think. So that is strong. You're loading obliques, you're loading into your hip, you've got your adductors are firing up. You can see his socks of where that shin angle is going, and where you're closing on dorsiflexion on this side, and he's opening up, so you've got lots of pronation, and then with lots of eversion. Loads of stuff happening, if I'm honest. It's pretty cool, but if you're gonna try it with a dowel first, okay? All right, these ones, Cirque du Soleil's. I don't know what they're called. They're like reverse planks, right? But if he would be in a seated position, and that kind of reverse thing. If you know what they're called, drop it down below for me. I will exercise. They're doing with a reach, obviously, in that position. He's, again, I think we're gonna flip through because it's massively thoracic extension, okay? That's what he's trying to obtain mostly. Thoracic extension, and when he's going onto one shoulder, we know we're trying to keep tension on just one shoulder the whole time, and we're getting that scapulothoracic stability again. Cool, all right, Jefferson curls, pretty much, almost like Jefferson bouncy curls, really. So these would do. You'll know that baseball, obviously the violent nature of pitching is quite a lot of rotation and torque, which is going through your lumbar spine, okay? So these ones directly do lumbar spine, and he's bouncing in and out of that, so he's kind of doing like a ballistic kind of stretch, as it will, and just loading those qualities like for his erectors and everything in around his lumbar spine and thoracic spine, okay? Anything from like T8 down to L5. Those are your T-spine, your back joints. Cool, but like those. And then on the other end of the spectrum, this is athleticism. This is just strength, okay? This is like a Zercher Deadlift, I think. Yeah, that's strong, isn't it? That is strong. Let's see that in reverse. Just getting into this position here, that is adductors screaming, hip capsules absolutely on fire, right? People are going to look at this rounded back posture. He is strong enough to hold there, my friends. The issue is when you are not strong enough to hold the position for a longer amount of time, and his back is rigid and resilient as hell, okay? So fair play on the guy, right? So that position is quite something to get out of without any weight. Chest, all that cue would be is like, get your chest up as much as possible. That is what he is doing, because hips are already extended, they're gone, knees are gone, boom, and punch, and he just drops it, I think. He is not interested in getting muscular soreness whatsoever. Look, okay, so just what I mean by that is he probably won't, you're going, oh my God, my back. Concentrically, you're not gonna get that sore. It's the eccentric qualities that you'll get sore. So see him when he did that rapid drop, or the rapid drop with his pec stretch or pec position. That rapid eccentric or the elongated eccentric, the down phase of a lift, will get you sore. That's where the tears of muscle fibers happen. The concentric portion, so if you've ever done a sled push, you don't get sore from sled pushing. You get sore from the eccentric slight portion of it, but the pushing of it, you're not getting sore from, because you're just pushing. It's all concentric force. That's why he drops the barbell, which is really cool. All right, and we're back to the beginning. Amazing. All right, that was way more extreme than what we've seen in the last few videos, right? If any coaches over here watching this, I would take 2 or 3 of these exercises. If anybody's coming back and wants to throw hard, play tennis, play golf, and start to put them in, because those are all things that you need mass rotation. I think we'll just leave this here. Mass rotation, really violent contractions, and yeah, the ability to throw as hard as possible is insane for this guy, and he is building his body to do exactly that. And as a Brit who doesn't probably see this, and I'd be interested to see if like a cricket fast bowler, and I will do some research on that, maybe like, I don't know who bowls really fast. My head goes to Steve Harmson. That's how old I am. Andrew Flintoff. Probably not doing that anymore. Somebody, Stuart Broad, he probably does. James Anderson with longevity, that'd be interesting to see. Really, really cool. Really, really cool. All right. If you got any questions about any of that stuff, hopefully I explained some of it. Hopefully we both got shocked. We both got, wow, there are some beasts in these weight rooms. And there's certainly more than just a lat pull down to do for your throws, isn't there? Really? Yeah. Don't do all of that, but have a little go and do it really, 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 really unloaded. That's all on you. All right, over the next few videos, we'll be checking out with some other athletes. Obviously, we're building towards maybe the Masters, so we'll definitely look at some pro golfers, maybe some Rory, so maybe some Cam Smith, maybe some Bryson DeChambeau, but we definitely will be dipping back into the world of athletics, because I've got Noah Lyles, Sydney McLaughlin, that kind of stuff that is coming up very, very soon. All right, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next video.